In a world covered in generic media shows, four white guys are moving to the top of online sports entertainment. Follow them on their epic quest. You're watching AHL Overdrive.
Hey guys, welcome to LG Overdrive, Season 26, Episode 2. Welcome back. This is myself, the host, the Young Buck. With me today we have, from Ontario, Ristolainen.
Hello.
We have the GM, or AGM, of the St. John's Ice Caps. We have El Diablo.
What up?
And we have the GM of the San Diego Gulls. We have Vadi coming back.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Boo!
Fuck off.
So this week we're going to start it off again. We're going to kick it off to Ristolainen. He's going to be doing two lineups of the week, one for the Eastern Conference, one for the Western Conference. Again, breaking down players in each position. Then we're going to send it over to Diablo for his new segment saying too high for me, where he breaks down the top contracts in leagues and whether they're too high for him based on how they're performing so far. Then we're going to go back to me, and I'm going to be doing my surprises and disappointments for this so far in week 2. And then we're going to go to Vadi for his power rankings, top 4, bottom 4 of each conference. We may have a surprise guest if E. Rice decides to show up tonight. And then we're going to head off with a quick outro tonight. So we're going to send it off right to Risto. Go ahead, buddy, with your lineup.
Thank you. All right, so a little bit different format this week. We're going to go with the top 12. In each conference, we got 6. Starting off in the Eastern Conference, at center, we have Arskog. I've played a couple games with him before, not many. I know a couple of my friends I have played with him very often. This week, after week 2, finishing 5-1-0, 22 points. He is at the top for centers in the Eastern Conference. He's plus 14 with 10 goals and 12 assists, 7 penalty minutes, and he's 44 giveaways and only 18 takeaways. Not too shabby there. Based on a couple other stats below him, he's doing pretty well so far. Going next into the Eastern Conference left wingers here, we have Daddy Burnout going 4-2 after week 2 with 19 points. Honorable mention there is Back in Black. He is also on the Wolfpack, finishing 3-2-1 with also 19 points. Getting back to Burnout, though, he had finished now with 13 goals, 6 assists, and a +1. He only has 2 penalty minutes so far this season. Very well there. But his buddy over there, Back in Black, with the 14 penalty minutes in the 6 games. Burnout having 75 giveaways and only 16 takeaways. That is a little bit rough. Same with Back in Black, 64 giveaways, 23 takeaways. Not quite as bad, but still getting there. Next, going in to finish off the forwards in the Eastern Conference, we got the right wingers. So for the right wings this week, we got Sakic finishing up 5-1-0 with 22 points. Close second is Wadden there from the Marlies. Sakic finished with 10 goals, 12 assists, and a +8, 10 penalty minutes, and 94 giveaways and 18 takeaways. I guess we're kind of going up here in the giveaways as we go on per players. We'll see how the defense does coming up next year. And to the left defenseman for the Eastern Conference. My site decided not to load here. It's just loading up quick. All right, we are back. I don't know what the hell happened there. All right, so for the left defenseman in the Eastern Conference, we got Landeskog. He finished up the week 2 and a final record of 4-2-0 with 11 points, finishing with 10 assists and 1 goal and a +1. Takeaway giveaway for him, not bad at all. 43 giveaways, 28 takeaways. Much better ratio there for him, and 0 penalty minutes, which is also very good. Don't want your defenseman taking many penalties during the game. And to finish up the defenseman for the Eastern Conference, coming back for another week appearance, we have E-People. He finishes 6-0 for the week with 13 points, 3 goals, 10 assists. Maybe we'll see a common thread this year in this segment with E-People being at the top of the right defenseman in the Eastern Conference. We'll have to see how week 3 plays out. Look for him in the what to watch for thread coming up this weekend. He finished with 34 giveaways and 19 takeaways. And a very good week for him. Hopefully he keeps that up for his team on the Wolfpack. And to finish it up here in the Eastern Conference with the goaltenders, we are going to go with – my apologies. There we go. We're going to finish it up with actually 2 people here, both from the same team, Johansson and Living Pylon. Johansson finished off week 2 and week 1 with 9-2. He had 22 goals against with 157 shots, finishing up with an 86 save percentage and a 1.98 goals against average. Very strong. That is actually his second appearance as well. And then his second goaltender with him is Living Pylon, finishing 3-2 with 5 games played, 11 goals against, and an 83.3 save percentage and a 2.1 goals against average. Very strong week for the St. John Ice Caps, their goaltenders.
Carried.
Did we beat him?
I don't know. He probably did. He's not that good. It's not that good anyway.
Carried.
Gosh.
Let's hear your Western Conference over there, Risto.
All right, so for the Western Conference, we have the one and only Wags for center. He finished off 5-0-1 with 25 points, coming in with only 6 goals and 19 assists. Man, this guy is a passer, finishing with a plus 16. 62 giveaways and 16 takeaways. Very good ratio there. One of the better ratios between these top lines here and the 12 gentlemen we have going on. Next, we're going to go ahead and go off into the left wingers. Left winger this week going to be Legacy, finishing 5-0-1 with 24 points, 16 goals, 8 assists, and a plus 16. He had 45 shots with 8 hits, 4 penalty minutes. That's also very good. And his goals against with 55, and once again coming in with the low takeaways, 13. Lastly, to finish up the forwards in the Western Conference, we got the right wingers here. I believe this is a second appearance for Prodigy as well from last episode. He finished off 5-1 with 28 points, 15 goals, 13 assists, and a plus 20. No penalty minutes. Once again, I believe he's the third person to not have penalty minutes in this episode, with 64 giveaways and 17 takeaways. Next, we're going to go into the left defenseman of the Western Conference. The top left defenseman for myself this week, we're going to go with Freestyle, finishing 5-0-1 with that overtime loss, 11 points, 4 goals, 7 assists, and a plus 10, taking 10 penalty minutes, having a 36 goals giveaways and 25 takeaways. Fairly close numbers there, not too bad there at all. Next, we're going to go into the right defenseman. We have, I believe that's I don't even know, TIPD. I'm going to go with that. It's a little bit easier. But he actually has top points here despite having a 3-2-1 record. And then we have the other mention is Zavello, who is 5-1 with 10 points, having all of his points coming from assists there at a plus 16. He has 8 penalty minutes, 36 giveaways, and 17 takeaways. Lastly, we are going to finish off the Western Conference with the goaltenders. This week, we are going to go with King Ellis. He finishes 6-3 with 21 goals against and 134 shots, finishing with an 84.3 save percentage and a 2.24 goals against average. Very strong week for Ellis there on the Road Runners. And that will finish up my top 12 from each conference. We have the 6, and we'll head it over to Bishop now for his too high for him.
Alrighty. So I was having a screenshot there of Vatty. My bad. Let me get off of that.
Fuck you.
All right.
That was really great.
All right.
There's
So
much- Ooh.
this segment I'm going to do is going to be called Too High for Me. And what that basically means is any contract I deem too high, you're going to be on this list. So let me explain that a little bit better here. So as for example, we got I'm Naked Kiss Me. He went for 5.25. First of all, he's 1-5 right now. 3 goals, 11 assists. He's a -3. This man, listen, man. This man has 69 giveaways and only 22 takeaways. Shout out to Gronkowski. Next person we got here, my boy Hamburglar Time, Hammy. Man, me and this guy go way back. All right, we got a bunch of bundles. Whoa, you know what I mean? But my boy is 5.75. He's not worth that at all. Maybe 250K. He's an awesome guy, salt of the earth. But he's 3-3. Only got 1 assist and a -3. That's not gonna cut it. And we got Bell X91. He's French, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 5.25 mil, 3-2-1. And he's got 1 goal, 2 assists, and a -7. He's on Rochester, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
All right, and next week we'll get called up by Savard. So we got St. Jean next, 5 mil.
Another Frenchie, Cavaliers.
St. Jean. I can't say anything bad about him.
Saint-Jean,
Um,
Cavaliers.
5 mil. He's 1 forward 1. He's got 5 goals, 7 assists, but he's got -9. And this man, 49 giveaways. You can't win games doing that. And this is a good one right here. Everybody on Albany. There. That's all I gotta say. And I don't know what's going on over there at Albany. Like, oh no, Ruthless is a cool guy. I guess he's not a good manager. I don't know. Hopefully things get turned around over there. But on to the next one. That's all I found for the high contracts. But also I got some other things I gotta say real quick. Hey, Grand Rapid, when are you all gonna show up? Dan Hutton, stop scrub hunting third lines, please. And also shout out to Shivs for not being worth the 7.5 mil. Good job on that, poo. And I'm gonna throw it up to the next guy.
All right, so we're gonna go over to me now. I have my surprises and disappointments for week 2. Again, like it was in week 1, this time I'm just gonna be breaking down the second week that they had, and then how they're doing those players throughout the season so far. So we're gonna jump right to the Eastern Atlantic Division. My surprise would be Hartford. They went 7-2 this week. They're currently led by Ijupi, who's 4-1 with 20 points and a +9. And Daddy Burnout, the GM, is 4-2 with 19 points and a +1, as previously said by Mr. Ristolainen. Their goaltending situation looks like Pascal Siakam is leading the charge with 11 games played. He's 8-3 with a 3.22 goals against average and a 75.5 save percentage. My disappointment for the Eastern Atlantic would be Bridgeport. After such a strong first week, we all knew Lang would shit the bed a little bit, and they went 2-7. So I guess Lang's team is no longer as elite and amazing as he thought. They are now led by KC97, who's 3-3 with 14 points and a -7. And then they also have Mom Spaghetti, who's 2-4 with 13 points and a -11. Goaltending, the number one is still Dogs 45 with 11 games played. He's 6-5 with a 4.79 goals against average and a 67.9 save percentage. I'd just like to point out that their top goalies, like the lowest goals against average, is a 4.01. The highest save percentage right now is a 78.5. So goaltending over there seems to be a struggle on Bridgeport. Moving on to the Eastern North, there wasn't many teams that played really bad this week that I could say that were a surprise, because St. John's and Syracuse have been dominating so far all season. So my surprise this week would be Binghamton going 5-4. They're led by O'Rock on YouTube, surprisingly. He's 4-2 with 21 points and a +9. And then he's followed by Beefy Caucasian and Larkin X19, who are both 4-2 with 16 points and a +9 as well. In net, they have Sin Peacekeeping, who's 4-5 with a 3.33 goals against a 73 save percentage, and Fisty Snake, who's 4-4 with a 3.25 goals against and a 67.5 save percentage. So again, a lot of low save percentages and high goals against averages so far this season. Hopefully, some of these goalies, they can turn that around. Moving on to my disappointment would be none other than Albany themselves. Albany just sucks, as Diablo just recently said. They went 2-7 on the week. They're led by Tricky13, who's just an awful player himself. He's got 16 points and a -12. And then Hero X Identity has 15 points, and he's a 0, surprisingly, but he's 1-3 so far this season. AE Big Rig is their starting goalie. He is 1-9 with a 4.9 goals against average and a 69.6 save percentage. And their backup Loose Change has a 3-5 record with a 4.36 goals against and a 72.9 save percentage. So again, it's not looking very sharp over in Albany. They're all trash. The Devils need to learn how to win games a little more and take on the spirit of Bridgeport's first week and actually learn how to win. Maybe Lang can teach them a thing or two before they shit bed some more. Moving on to the Western Pacific Division, I do have the San Jose Barracuda this week. They went 5-3-1. They're led by Wumpa Fried Wumps, who's 3-2-1 with 18 points and a +5, which is absolutely shocking because Wumpa's not that great of a player himself. Next, they have a tie of 16 points with Biddy NP, who's 3-2-1 with 16 points and a +4, and Swanner 2.0, who's 3-2 with 16 points and a +7. Goaltending is looking like it's Lazy Kid in GA. He's got 9 games played. He's 6-3 with a 2.67 goals against and a 76 save percentage. So it's about time that someone's got a low goals against. And then they got T. Emery, who is 2-5 with a 4.45 goals against and a 69.4 save percentage. And then on my disappointment for the Western Pacific is San Antonio. They're led by Gunner 92987, who's 16 points and a +6. And then they have a couple players at 14 points, including I Naked Kiss Me, who's 1-5 with 14 points and a -3. And Ranger X28, who's 2-3, 14 points and a +2. Goaltending looks like Felissimo is 5-5 with a 3.9 goals against and a 71.1 save percentage. And their backup Dewman is 2-5 with a 3 goals against and a 71.8 save percentage. So that wraps up the Western Pacific. Moving on to the Western Central, I have 2 teams that are my surprises this week. My first surprise would be the Iowa Wild. It's not very surprising, but they did, as they are first, but they did manage to go 6-0-3, so they got a point every single game this week, so kudos to them. Led by Killer Phil 99, 6-0, 20 points and a +12. And Gro Tabernac is also 6-0 with 15 points and a +12. So that's a lineup that's somehow managing to go +12 and undefeated. Gong Show 86 also is 3-2-1 with 20 points and a +1. So we got a couple players in the 20s already. Goaltending, it's got Kill Carded, who's 8-3 with a 2.74 goals against and a 78.9 save percentage. And then they got Jay House, who's 2-2 with a 3.42 goals against and a 74.5 save percentage. My second surprise for the Western Central would be the Rockford Ice Hogs, who went 7-2 this week. Sorry, slowing here. They're led right now by their GM on fourth line Worthy, who's got 5-1 with 23 points and a +9, and Stastny 26, who's 5-1 as well with 21 points and a +9. Goaltending, it looks like Klepatron's got the starting role. 7 games played. He's 3-4 with a 4.17 goals against and a 72.1 save percentage. BS Pain Train is 5 games played. He's 4-1 with a 2.4 goals against and a 79.3 save percentage. And then moving on finally to my disappointment. Although they are currently second in the division, the Chicago Wolves went 4-2-3 this week. So they're a bit of a disappointment. They did go below 500. They are led currently by Gimme a Brewski, 24 points in 6 games. He's 4-1-1 with a +6. And they have 3 players at 21 points. Papi Gonzalez is 4-2 with 21 points and a +4. Pure Fission, the GM, is 3-1-2 with 21 points and a +6. As well as Martin McFly is 4-1-1 with 21 points and a +5. Goaltending looks like Tarasenko X91X is 7-3 with 3.32 goals against, 74.2 save percentage. And Mentor 1 is 4-3 with a 3.65 goals against and a 75.5 save percentage. So that wraps up my surprise and disappointment. Against the prizes would be Hartford 7-2 this week, Binghamton 5-4, San Jose 5-3-1, Iowa 6-0-3, Rockford 7-2. My disappointments being Bridgeport going 2-7, Albany going 2-7, San Antonio going 2-7, and Chicago going 4-2-3. Next, we're gonna head on over to Vadi for his bottom 4 and top 4 power rankings for each conference.
Go, Vadi. You got this.
All right.
Oh
So,
my god!
fucking, I hate you. So we're gonna go from the bottom here. At number 4 for the Eastern Conference, we have Wilkes-Barre Scranton, who I expected to come back. They have 20 points, and they gathered in their last 10 a 6-2-2 record. That team is led by the Mees Knees, the Mees Knees and, or is it? Oh, Mees
These
Top
top
Cheese.
cheese.
Son of a bitch.
Wow. Nice.
And they
He's
just added
Swiss
Super
cheese.
Nuts. And they just added, fuck you. Added Super Nuts. They definitely came back. They were at bottom of the division last week. They're led by Arskog with 22 points, Mees with 18 points, and Spruce Moose at 16 points. My third team in the division would be the Hershey Bears, who are 11-5-2. They are led by Eden and recently sent down NHL JL 13 with 11 points, and Mike Shea with 10 points. They did just get called up in Cabela. We'll see how they do after that. Team in the Eastern top would be the Hartford Wolfpack. They're led by iJupy with 20 points, Burnout with 19, and Back in Black with 19 as well. They are 11-6-1. And my number 1 team, the Eastern Conference is the St. John's Ice Caps.
Whoa!
Gives a shit.
What?
Shut the fuck up.
What? Hold on. Say my team's name again real quick. Do it one more time.
The St. John's.
No. All right, go on.
All right, they're led by Marner, Legend of Capone, and Rain. Marner leads the team with 21 points and a plus 14. And Bishop sucks. He's 5-1 with 7 points and a plus 10. But I'm sure his giveaways are more than his takeaways.
Hey,
So,
honestly, I think that's broken. Be straight up honest with you.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, by the way, Johansson gets carried.
Okay, so Western Conference, the top 4 Western Conference teams. At number 4, we have the Chicago Wolves. Even though they had a bad week last week, they maintain second place in the Western Central. They're 11-4-3, led by Gimme a Brewski and Martin McFly. Their goaltending is not doing too hot right now, and they lost some really bad games against Providence, but they still maintain and probably going to look to turn it around next week. The third team in the Western Conference is the Rockford Ice Hogs, as previously mentioned by Buck. They're led by fourth line, Statsny and Duganator. All three are above 20 points. And recently called up BS Pain Train is leading the team in net with 4-1 record and a 2.41 goals against average with 79 save percentage. They are 12-6-0. The second team in that division or in that conference is the Iowa Wild, also previously mentioned by Buck, led by Gong Show and Killer Phil, each with 20 points. They are 12-3-3 and Gross Tabernacles Scrub Hunts. And the number 1 team in the Western Conference is the San Diego Gulls.
Woo!
They're led by Prodigy X8 with 28 points, Neil with 22, and McNasty with 22. They're 14-4, going 7-2 last week and the week before. All right. So instead of doing the bottom teams and telling that, who's good and all that shit, because stats are
Good.
boring, I'm just gonna call out teams, kind of like
Y'all
Bishop
fucking
did.
suck anyways.
Grand Rapid.
So first of all, I'm gonna call out Springfield. Crank,
Crank, you suck.
Crank is not doing well as he is with a goals against average of 4.13 and a 73 save percentage. And Frank the Tank might as well never play again with an 8 goals against average and a 57
Stick
save
to
percentage.
basketball.
Oh shit!
On top of that, we're going to see their top points leaders, Neymar, who just took over the team after Breton
Good
quit
for you, Neymar.
this
Good luck.
week. He's got 17 points. Other than that, they're relying on Ryu QC with 16 and Brosaurus Rex with 10. While most teams have guys in the 20s, they have their third leading scorer with 10 points.
You know it's bad when I have almost the same amount as points as their lead scorer. Get good.
Yeah, they're gonna have a rough time getting back anywhere near playoff position, especially after the GM just left. The next team is Albany. Called them out last week in the bottom 3 of the division. They're 4-14. I'm sure they've lucked themselves into more wins, but they haven't. They're led by Tricky, 13, and Hero X Identity. Tricky with 16, Hero with 15 points. And their goaltending is absolutely terrible. Oh, Big Rig has only won 1 game in the 10 he's played. He's 1-9 with a 4.91 goals against average and a 69 save percentage. Probably time to look at some new goalies.
If you want to trade me, Johansson. Just saying.
I'm also going to call out in the Western Conference the Grand Rapids Griffins, as you previously said. A team that was supposed to be very good defensively is a train wreck defensively. Motown isn't doing anything. Go figure. Kopi is the only person that's doing anything on this team with spots.
Scrub pond.
Howie's worrying about
17 points and 15 points for the... What the fuck did you just say?
Howie's worrying too much about poker. Need to worry about his LG team.
They just had their AGM quit and chosen. We'll see how that goes. After what's been said, doesn't sound like they're going to be missing much. Dazed is a terrible goalie in net. Probably should stop playing. I've played Sanctify. He's a terrific goaltender. Definitely has playoff potential written all over him. Now, in the Western Pacific, I'm going to call out the... you called out San Antonio. Fuck it. San Antonio Rampage, a team that was supposed to be very strong with I'm Naked Kiss Me leading the bunch. He only has 14 points with some guy named Gunner, 92987, and most of his points actually came from I believe it was, hold on, a 12-goal win against Rochester and
Go
the
Pierre.
Savvy Salvage team.
Go Pierre.
Had 9 points in that game. So, yeah, those are teams that are just absolute trash. All right. That's all for power rankings.
All right, so as mentioned last week in our show, we are releasing media articles throughout the week. I hope you guys did like Faces, Trades, and Trapes. Also, my game of the nights on Sunday, Monday, as where Ristolainen will be doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if he has the time. Bishop with his specific, interesting articles when he decides
What?
to do them.
What?
Your interesting articles.
Hey, man.
Vadi will be helping out with articles and putting out some of his own still, I believe.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually.
When my
But
girlfriend's
yeah.
not hassling me.
When he's not working on another movie.
Yeah. I know Coach Kraus is also going to be helping out with articles. He will be on the show every now and then. He could not make it today. E. Royce will be on the show. I don't know if he will be writing
When
articles,
he's done
but
playing FIFA.
he will be posting memes in all of our threads. As you've been noticing, he is the meme king at the moment.
Should we give the time of day to Gross Tabernac while we're at it?
Yo, Gross, you need to stop that shit and put that shit in the CHL chat box. I've had enough of your. First of all, you're not even good. Like, you have to be good to do stuff like this. Like, I'm not talking about like media stuff like that, but like just to think like, I don't want to start.
He's too French.
I'm already in it. Here, listen. You got to learn how to speak English right and type it right. There. That's all I gotta say. Sip my tea.
Should we also point out the fact that he scrub hunts?
Oh, that too.
6-0.
Yo, hey guys, yo, Z. All right.
So yeah, look up for more media content coming up this week. Faces is solely articles. If he does show his face on the show, one of his 21 faces, we'll be happy to have him. But otherwise, he's strictly articles.
Oops. I pressed the wrong drum. I'm sorry.
You're an absolute fucking idiot.
Alright, my bad.
So yeah, look for that. Again, as also previously mentioned last week, already starting to write up stuff for this season's All-Star game. I would like you guys to send me some feedback about what happened last season. I know it was on the whole Black Friday issue, so we're gonna try and work around like what I did last season, but we're gonna do that. Again, We're happy to have you guys listening to the shows. We'll have them out every week. We made sure Friday night we film it. Saturday, Sunday it's out. It's also going to be out on my personal channel on the LG YouTube page, and it's going to be on my SoundCloud as well. So that way, if you guys want to watch it or
Hey,
listen
follow
to it
me on
if you're
Bug
in the office,
SoundCloud.
it'll be out for you guys. So thank you for listening. If the guys have any last words, now's the time.
Risto, you first, bud.
Crank sucks.
Yeah.
All right, Vaddy, you and your second place team. What do you got to say?
No. You first place. All right. First place and lost to me in overtime.
Third line.
Third line.
All right.
Malcheski.
All right. All right, you just want to oh, you're just gonna take a puff of the vape. All right, I can't even say anything after that.
Okay. I'd like to say that Crank sucks. Letty is not better than I am.
Letty, learn
Okay.
English.
Titus is the king of banning. And
Yeah.
we hope to see you guys soon.
All right, when are we ending it? I want to end it on a high note, and then when I'm done saying it,
Then
just end
talk.
it. No.
Finish
When
the
I say these two words, you end it. Okay? Are you ready?
Don't.
Fuck Deguai.